So very good evening to all. I would be talking today about the SARS-CoV-2 receptors and how they are present in the eye and how it can impact and its therapeutic potential. I have no financial disclosures here. So when COVID-19 came in during the first wave, we healthcare professionals were exposed to a lot of this treating them. So what we were thinking is like how to prevent and protect the virus from entering our eye, because eye is one of the open surface which you can directly the virus can enter in. So based on the literature, we devised this prophylactic. First of all, we created this pathway, like how the receptors, the ACE2 receptors can bind your ocular surface, and how the TIMPRESS2 and the cathepsin receptors can intake this virus in, and how it can impact the eye. So this is just a pathway showing that. And we devised that where the chloroquine and trehalose drops will work to prevent it from damaging our ocular tissues. So this was just a work, but then when the things started opening up, we wanted to understand that whether the SARS-2 receptors are actually present in our ocular tissue or not, and if they are present, then what can be the possible topical targets to prevent the same, or possible systemic therapy. So what we did was, during eye donations, the eyes which were not suitable for transplantation, my colleagues, Dr. Poona, Dr. Gairik, Dr. Sharon, and Dr. Tirumalesh, all of us dissected the eyes in layers, starting from conjunctiva, cornea till retina, and retina was also further divided into neuroretina, RP in the Bruch's membrane, and the choroid. And we took each of these tissues, they were stored in -80°C, and then they were studied for the gene expression analysis to see what the levels of the RNA are. And we also did immunofluorescence tests to see the specific proteins, and like ACE2 receptors, TIMPRESS2, MIXA protein, which is the protective mechanism. So all this was done. I'll just come to results. What we found was that the ACE2 receptors, which are responsible for binding of the virus, was extremely higher on your ocular surface tissues like your conjunctiva, cornea, and corneal epithelium. Whereas as you move back towards the eye, like trabeculum meshwork, choroid, sclera, retina, and RP cells, the receptors reduced. So this suggested that there was a consistent and this was therefore TIMPRESS2 also, which is responsible for intake of the virus. And this was comparable to the lung epithelial tissue. We could get the lung epithelial tissue from our sister institute as well. Unfortunately, when the eye donation started, we wanted to prevent our doctors and everyone. So whenever we used to go for eye donations, disclaimer here, we only went for patients who were not giving any history of COVID. We used to take swab just for our precautions, and we used to bring them. And we did the RT-PCR test just to see whether there was any COVID there or not. The patients who were asymptomatic, did not have any COVID, they turned out to be positive on RT-PCR, and they had died of some natural cause or myocardial infarction. What we saw was that here, if you can see the conjunctiva, the red ones are the ACE2 receptors, and the green ones is the MIXA protein, which is the protective phenomena. In a control eye, this is how the healthy eye looks like, and this is a blood vessel. But a COVID positive eye, you can see a lot of these red colors, which is the ACE2 receptors, and you can hardly see the green color, which means your protective protein, the MIXA protein, is absent. And in the COVID-19 recovered eye, like this is post-recovery, the ACE2 receptors started reducing, suggesting that, it is healing and your receptors are reducing. However, this was in conjunctiva and cornea. However, this difference was not noted in retina. The next thing was the TIMPRESS and the cathepsin L gene also. Similar things were found here, that the TIMPRESS2 genes were higher and the cathepsin was higher in the COVID positive eye, started reducing on the COVID recovered eye. So this is just a representation of what receptors we found at each level, suggesting the surface had the higher chances of catching the infection, which matched the lung epithelium. Let's go back to our hypothesis. It was a hypothesis, but then various groups started publishing how trehalose can work as an antiviral property in your eye. And we did some studies in the human corneal epithelial cell line and the adenocarcinomic basal epithelial cells. We took controls, and we also did chloroquine and trehalose testing for ACE2 receptors and TIMPRESS2 gene and the cathepsin L and the MIXA protein. What we found was that while treating them with chloroquine and trehalose, the ACE2 receptors and the TIMPRESS2 receptors reduced basically. That means it will prevent your infection. Similarly, you can see here the same in cathepsin L. Whereas the MixA protein, MIX1 protein, which is the protective mechanism, again, it has an antiviral property. We didn't find any difference with chloroquine, but the receptors increase. That means that this is one of the potential targeted therapeutic for your eye when it comes to ACE2 receptors and COVID-19. So with this, I'll just stop my presentation and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Pooja. Anybody else would like to ask a question over here in the panel? Anybody would like to ask a question to Dr. Pooja? They are doing cutting edge research over here. And are you trying to tell us that the eye is more susceptible to SARS-CoV-2 infection compared to, rather the conjunctiva and the cornea? The surface of the eye is more susceptible to infection than the other tissue in the eye and anywhere in the body?
As good as lungs, sir. It's the receptors are matching as well as the lungs. So what conjunctiva and cornea might catch is like conjunctivitis or any corneal infections. So just to prevent it, we can actually use one of these drops like Trehalose or chloroquine to protect our surface.
Now the consequences. Now in the lung, that leads to various increased secretion and fluid logging, the different mechanisms. So what happened over here? Now if the SARS-CoV-2 does land up, the virus does get attached to the surface protein or the ACE2 receptors. What is the consequence on the conjunctiva? What is the kind of cascade or the chain reaction that follows? Is there an increased secretion or there is dryness or what follows?
One thing which we have been seeing is increased dryness. A lot of this COVID recovered patients, they call back and tell us that, they have like, apart from your retinal and other conditions, which are altogether a different ball game. For corneal ocular surface conditions, we are seeing a lot more dry eye patients. And they're not typically your dry eye patients. They have a lot of discomfort and burning sensation. So basically, this means that, probably they have, their ACE2 receptors and all were affected with COVID. And the recovery is delayed. And that's why post-COVID recovery, they have all these symptoms. So we see a lot of this changes. One thing which we have noted is.
So what I'm trying to, so the question is which came first, whether there was a direct infection of the virus onto the conjunctival surface, or it was a systemic SARS-CoV-2 infection which led to this?
Interesting question, sir. But
because see, we don't know, because we don't know what came first, whether as the person had a pulmonary or upper respiratory infection exposure to SARS-CoV-2, the person also had the same kind of viral exposure to the conjunctiva and every other place. So whether it was a direct consequence or an indirect consequence will remain debatable.
It will remain debatable.
Can I take the question, sir?
Unless you do a kind of on animal models or something like that, do this exposure, which I think we'll have to do so eventually, the way we are heading.
I pray COVID goes away till then.
We are praying hard. Yeah, thank you.
The Wuhan whistleblower, the guy actually got conjunctivitis first.
Yeah, we know that.
What Pooja showed was very impressive that, the ACE receptors present on the conjunctiva as rich as in the lung, which means that eye can be a portal of entry. That's why we have to keep our eyes
still, with the patient. Thiru, I do agree with the reports that are there that he had conjunctivitis and this and that. But tell me, in our practical experience, how many, all of you from all institutions across, we have so many panelists, how many of you have seen conjunctivitis as a presenting feature of SARS-CoV-2 followed by pulmonary infection? None of us.
That's true.
No, but our eye also has that protective.
Welcome back. We'll have you on soon.
Our eye has also the receptors of the MixA protein, which are the protective phenomenon. So probably that is the one which is trying to fight the infection and prevent it from catching. But
so the question is whether the conjunctivitis that he had was a kind of coincidence.
I don't think it was a coincidence.